quick public service announcement. So on the LSM by Studio Projects video, a few people heard a really low hum and referenced it to like mosquito frequency something. I have determined that even though you're hearing a lot of noises, because I finished this video and then decided to do this real quick, because I noticed as soon as I was done with the video, I have a refrigerator, a mini fridge in here, and there is a very low, high-pitched hum coming from that. So if you hear that, most likely it is not the microphone, it is the refrigerator. I will try to remedy that at some point. On with the video. What is going on, Obscure Mic people? It's Bark coming at you yet again with another microphone test review video for you. Leading in on the SM7B as usual. How are you folks doing today? So, I've got with me in the studio the first time, another Obscure Mic's first. A lot of firsts coming for Mr. Mike Obscure Guy. Superlux R102 ribbon microphone, phantom powered. Typically runs about $250. I snagged it for about half of that because I wanted to try a ribbon microphone. I've been dying to try a ribbon microphone, and now we're going to try a ribbon microphone. Is it the most reputable of brands? No. It's Superlux. I don't know anything about Superlux, but a lot of what I have seen is people saying that for the price, Superlux is not so bad. So anything that says for the price, not so bad, I'm all about. Comes in a really nice carrying case. Really nice carrying case. That's all that matters to me. You give me that carrying case like Behringer, and my undying love belongs to you forever. So let's talk about the microphone a little bit. It is an all metal body. Thing sits about 8 inches tall, metal mesh grill with very little give to the actual grill protection, if you see that metal along the grill. But underneath the actual mesh grill, quite a bit of give. So you're going to want to be careful with that part of the microphone. No bells and whistles, just an XLR port. It is a very beautiful microphone. I love the looks of this microphone. I think it looks great. And the shock mount that comes with it is pretty damn sweet as well. It is a metal yoke mount, but it does have a plastic bracket to put the microphone down in. Let's get back to the video. So I've got this mic here before me. The mount that it comes on, very freaking tall. Now, granted, you can put it like this and mount your thing sideways, but for the sake of this video, I've got it on a desk fuck. I've got it on a desk fuck. You know, I once told Bronson over at Audio Hotline when I first started talking to him that there was no reason to cuss so much in his videos. And here I am just cussing every other word. Bronson, thank God we became friends because, you know, that was just one of those off days for me where I'm like, I really like this guy, but the F word's just being forced, and now here I am forcing it out all over the place. I love you, brother. Audio Hotline, go check him out. Dude's growing. Dude's a good dude. And by growing, I mean his channel's growing. I don't know anything else besides his channel that's growing. Maybe his heart is growing. I don't know. But anyways, the Superlux R102. Man, it's a good-looking mic. Now, the SM7B, known to be a little dark, rich, smooth. Superlux time, baby. Let's get it wired up. This is where Bronson would cue that music like da 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 da. I don't have any of that. We're just gonna wire it up. All right, folks. We've got the Superlux R102 wired up, ready to roll. I don't know if I already mentioned it on the case here, but this ribbon microphone is phantom powered, so no worries about turning on phantom power on accident and like frying this microphone. That's not going to happen because it's phantom powered. I've never seen a phantom powered ribbon microphone, but at the same time, I don't really look for ribbon microphones very often. So, man, that is that is dark. That is very dark. It doesn't sound bad. I don't hear anything crazy right off the top of my head. It's, yeah, this is a totally different sound. And I know that it being a phantom-powered ribbon microphone probably doesn't have that true ribbon sound. It's probably different than other ribbon microphones. We'll find out eventually. But I do want to reinforce the fact that this ribbon microphone, and it's going to get weird here in a second, it is bidirectional. So it picks up from the front, it picks up from the back. You'll find that out in a minute. Let's throw some plosives into it. Peter Piper picked a patch of pickled pineapple pizza. Peter Piper picked a patch of pickled pineapple pizza. See, those P's come out quicker when I talk in my natural accent. Peter Piper picked a patch of pickled pineapple pizza. That's how I normally sound. I'm changing my voice for you guys on this channel just to not be so down home, sweet home Alabama-like. So when you get right on top of the Superlux R102, this is what it sounds like when you're right on top of it. R102 ribbon microphone. Let's go ahead and spin this mothership. Spin this mothership around. God, it's a really pretty mic. I mean, if you're going for looks, let's go ahead and spin it around. So, front of the microphone, 90 degrees on the microphone. Now we're going to get some sound when I go 180 degrees, and it is a funky sound that picks up from the rear of this microphone. That is a funky, funky sound, baby. 90 degrees on the microphone, and then back around to 120 degrees with some desk bumps. I got some desk bumps in there for you. Sorry, Asphalt Hell, I still don't have a keyboard to play around with you. My bad. So, Superlux Ribbon R102. I have read some things that say this is really good on guitar cabs and really good for certain instruments, but we're talking about voice. We're talking about podcasting, gaming, streaming, fucking streaming, bro. Talking about all kinds of stuff like that. Voice is what I'm all about. If you guys want to hear these on instruments, I am sorry. I am a lowly podcaster. I'm not Yngwie Malmsteen, nor am I Bandrew Scott. I cannot shred the way you want me to shred. I can play Smells Like Teen Spirit and that one Violent Femme song, Blister in the Sun. I can play a lot more than that, but I'm not good, so we're not going to put my lack of skills on display. The thing I wondered about this microphone for voice is how processing would affect it. So before I turn on processing, I do want to say I do like the rich, smooth tone of this, but I don't exactly think it's podcast or broadcast ready. Maybe some processing changes those things, but right now it's just a really dark and weirdly muffled kind of microphone. Like, it's just not that clear, and I don't think anyone ever accused ribbons of being overly clear. There's not a lot of brightness there to them. So let's see what happens when we do some post-processing. And by post-processing, I'm talking about on my Rodecaster Pro, the easiest post-processing in the world. So let's go ahead and turn that on. So now I've got some compression on the microphone. I might as well turn the de-esser on just in case. This is just compression. Now, compression brings a nice boost in volume in the upper frequencies there, but it's not anything crazy. Let's go ahead and turn on a high-pass filter, because that should affect the tone quite a bit. All right. So now we've got compression and a high-pass filter on, so it's going to take some of those low frequencies away. I'm still not really feeling this on a voice level. It does not sound bad at all. Like, I'm not offended by this, but I don't know how good this is going to sound on, like, say, my car stereo or my favorite Bluetooth speaker or my favorite set of music or podcast listening headphones. But it is an improvement over the purely dark tone, just so you can see. Now we're back to the purely dark tone. And it's like someone threw a blanket on my recording. It's still not bad. It's still got a bit of a quality sound to it. But when you turn that processing back on, it kind of pops out a little bit more, and I like that. So what I wondered about this as well, I'm going to turn the high-pass filter off. Maybe. Okay. So with the high pass filter off, I am wondering if this ribbon microphone would be what I remember to be the first microphone that actually benefits from the oral exciter from Aphex built into the Rodecaster Pro. I'm thinking if there is a microphone that would benefit from that, it would be this. Let's find out. Oral exciter engaging now. Okay, so now we've got the oral exciter on the Superlux R102. And I think that is exactly what happened here. I think that the oral exciter turned this ribbon microphone from more of an instrument mic into more of an upfront, in-your-face voice mic, vocal microphone. And I hear that clarity coming through. Not exactly as smooth, because I think the oral exciter is just a touch too harsh for almost everything on this. Now, granted, with the firmware update, the 2.1 on the Rodecaster Pro, you can adjust the processing settings individually. You can take that oral exciter and tweak it. I'm not going to do that because I don't want to get too deep into the processing. I just wanted to see if the basic processing functions on the Rodecaster Pro took the Superlux, woo, and did anything different to the sound of it for voice. And by all means, it has. I actually think this sounds usable, very usable. Now, I almost feel like that's very broadcasty. So this might be something I experiment with. I have a podcast called the Back Road Dolphins Show. If you're not a Miami Dolphins fan, you probably wouldn't enjoy it too much. But I do use a lot of the mics that I put on obscure mics. I will use those for episodes of those Back Road Dolphins Show episodes just to go back and reference in long form, which is only a 12 to 20 minute podcast. But I use these microphones on that to just see what I was missing out on, or I'll stumble back upon them sometimes and be like, wow, that actually sounded better for my taste now than it did 6 months ago when my ears were still kind of developing. So I'm going to use this on the next episode of the Back Road Dolphins Show, and we're going to see what this sounds like on a full broadcast, podcast, plodcast. I have no idea what comes out of my mouth half the time. So anyways, the Superlux, I'm going to go ahead and turn processing off. I kind of rather like it with the processing on and the oral exciter. First time the oral exciter would be used consistently with a microphone, I would use it on this one because I kind of like the tone that it's given me for podcasting. So let's turn processing back off. And now we get back to the very smooth, rich, dark tone of the Superlux R102. You know, I'm thinking there's probably way better ribbon mics out there, but as far as the first ribbon mic that I've tested, and the fact that you can actually pick this up for like 120 and under, and it comes with the shock mount, the really nice plastic case, the good build quality, and just have something different in your arsenal to throw at things, I'm going to give it the green light. I actually think this is a pretty cool microphone. Granted, I don't know exactly what my use case would be for it, but for my first ribbon microphone, I am somewhat pleased with the way this sounds and the way it responds to processing. I think you can do a lot of things with this that you couldn't do on a dynamic, because a dynamic, you can change the processing quite a bit and you can get the sound to be a lot different in many ways, but this is drastic. This is very drastic. You can do opposite end of the spectrum type recordings with this microphone. And I'm not saying they'll sound the best in the world, but I rather dig the fact that this is like a moldable piece of clay that starts out nice and dark and smooth, and you can play around with it. That's what she said. I like that. Anyway, Superlux R102, pretty fun mic. I am very, 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 very curious to know what your thoughts are on this microphone. So by all means, hit me up and let me know in the comments down below. Superlux R102 is out. Bark's out. Obscure mics. Peace out.